taught me a few good lessons. In junior high school, I was the running back for my football team. I was also the linebacker. I was pretty elusive, I was quick, I hit hard. But one of our linemen happened to get hurt. His name was Greg Eubanks. Rest in peace, Greg. Greg, for being a big guy, happened to also be really quick on his feet. So the way they were using Greg, they were pulling him and sending him out in front of me on sweeps. And Greg was knocking out the first guy that come our way, which allowed me to get open into space and gain yards. Well, when Banks got hurt, I no longer had anybody going out in front of me, knocking people out. And that made it a lot harder for us to get yards. So we ended up losing to a few teams that weren't as good as us. Well, the coaches come up with this brilliant plan to put me at guard and put my buddy Stewie at running back. Now, I love Stewie, but he wasn't the running back that I was. He wasn't as elusive, he didn't hit as hard, but he was fast. Sean was fast. Maybe not as fast as me, but he was fast. When they made the decision to put me up front with the Hogs, I was livid. Like I was a pretty boy. I didn't belong up there with all those big guys. So I went home and I whined to my mom and I whined to my stepdad. I told them I want to quit. I don't want to play football. And they refused to let me do that. They told me, you signed up for the season, you're going to finish the season. If you don't want to play next year, that's fine, but you're finishing this season. So I begrudgingly went to practice as a guard. And over time, I learned to like it. And when we started winning games again, the coaches decided to have my name put in the paper as leading the linemen in our victories, which made me feel a lot better about making that sacrifice. We ended up being one of the best junior high Meadowbrook football teams in the school's history. And I know you're thinking that the lesson here is that there's no I in team. And there's some truth to that. That experience taught me that there's joy in winning as a team, and that it wasn't just all about me, and that when Stewie scored a touchdown, I was scoring a touchdown too. The team was scoring a touchdown. It wasn't just JC scoring a touchdown. It was a humbling experience. But the longest lasting lesson that I received from this actually has to do with giving up. We've all been on the job with people who are there for 3 or 4 hours and then they leave. They disappear. I imagine that these people, when they went to their parents and said, I want to quit, their parents just let them do it. They just let them quit. And that is the difference between breeding a quitter and a winner. And what I mean by quitting, I don't mean finding something better to do with your life and leaving something. There's a difference between leaving and quitting. Leaving is when you have a plan moving forward to better yourself, to do something better with your life. Quitting is just walking away with no plan to move forward. So as an adult, I've learned that the only way to succeed is to do a lot of things that you really don't feel like doing at that time. The only way that you can win the football game is to do things that you don't really want to do. The only way to find the joy of winning the football game is to get through doing things that you don't feel like doing. You don't just give up. Hey, listen, if you like this video, you can follow me at JC Shively. Make sure you share it, start a watch party, all that good stuff. And remember, you don't let things you can't control how you feel, and you don't let people you can't control how you feel.